you can tell your name and the background, and then I will ask some few questions so you can give me some answers.
So I'm Shanaka Bandara, and I've been working as a software engineer in Sri Lanka and got 7 years of experience and came here to Perth, and I've been living in Perth for 7 years and I'm working as a IT project manager. So I feel it's a great pleasure for me to attend this program. I have actually heard about that. I heard about Venerable Abhaya, and just to tell you about my background, the first time I started meditation was when I was in the year 1. I remember like one of my vice principals took all of us to a temple in Maradana, and he got us to do the compassionate meditation, the Maitri Bhavanava. So it's the compassionate meditation. So I still remember. So that's the first time I did this meditation, and then that was just an incident. And when I was in year 10, or when I was in year 9, I came across this section, or the chapter called meditation in one of my Buddhism handbooks when I was in year 9. So when I read that the word meditation, I felt like a very satisfying feeling. So I didn't know why. So I wanted to try a couple of meditation methods that it described. So one of them was the compassionate meditation, and the other one was the breathing meditation. So
that's called Anapanasati. Yeah.
So it was sort of an addiction I had when I started it, and I used to do it every day. And when I was in year 10, my parents were like a bit worried because at that time there was this negativity around this meditation, monks, Buddhism, etc. A big negativity.
Yeah.
So they said like, you might go and become a monk or something. But then I did basically, when they were watching the television, I went to my room and then started doing meditation. So sometimes it took an hour, 2 hours, or sometimes 2.5 hours, etc. So the time actually had increased. And then I actually felt that there's something happening inside me. So just as an example, I felt like I'm increasing my capacity of my brain. So because earlier I wasn't actually studious, like I wasn't actually wanting to study anything. I was not worried about exams, etc. But in the term 1, I was the 32nd out of the 40 students. But I had been meditating, and in the second term I was the 16th, and in the third term I was the third. So it had basically increased my capacity. So that was something I experienced, and there was this one point where I felt it was like a switch, and so usually when I start meditating, it was in the dark because I want to hide from my parents. I didn't want to let them know that I'm doing meditation. So it was all dark. But then when I started meditating, and after some time, I felt like I'm having some sort of a light around me. And so that has been happening. And on this particular day, I felt like switching. So it was sort of switching, and I felt like I felt that the whole light, I was inside sort of a light ball, and then I felt like I'm having some fever. So
you're afraid?
Yeah, actually, I knew I wasn't really worried because I knew this is something magical, sort of. This is not something that I should worry about. So I got that feeling somehow. So I wasn't actually worried about that. So I didn't actually went and told my mother or father. So they didn't know. I just after that incident, I went and slept. So that was something. And after that point, because before that point, I was like chasing. I was basically sort of a go-getter. So I was like very competitive. And I want to like, if I wanted to grab something, I would do it anyhow. So that was my nature. But after that, something happened. And then I realized, okay, this is not sort of the thing that I should chase for. So
competition decreased.
So the competition actually wasn't there because there was this Dvesha thing all around until that point, but then because there was this particular person who was the first in that class once in the first term, but when I asked him something, he was like, he didn't want to tell me anything. So I at that time I thought, okay, I'm going to get there somehow, and that's why I tried that, and so I was the third and he was the fourth, but then I had this compassionate and towards him, and I thought, okay, from now onwards, I'm not going to think like that towards anyone. And I haven't done that so far. I was succeeding. So that's actually one chapter of me, Samanasa. So I have been meditating, and then I came across, so my wife is also into meditation. So we got together, and then she was actually listening to lots of Dharma. But the thing, when I was in year 10 or before I got to know about Venerable Abhaya, the thing that I got confused was this concept called Anitya. So it was sort of contradictory because in Singalava Sutra they say you have to be determined. You have to be determined. You have to try hard to get things. Sort of like you have to be successful in your life. So that's what Sinhala Sutra says. But also it says it's anitya. It's anitya. It's like impermanent.
Yes.
Yes, it says impermanent. So I was like thinking, is there any matching? Like, does this go together?
Yeah.
So that was the confusion I had. So because I thought it couldn't exist together. So then I came across Venerable Abhaya's teachings. But I couldn't, like there were lots of videos uploaded online, but I couldn't actually follow a single one fully because I was so tired after work, and then I fell asleep. So I heard about this meditation meditation program, and then throughout the first 5 days I listened to Dhamma. And
so you attended Bana preaching as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I realized, okay, this is nothing but ceasing. I'm not too sure whether these are the right terminology.
Yeah.
I should use.
Doesn't
like
matter. Yes.
Ceasing the raga, dvesha, moha.
Greed, hatred, and delusion.
Delusion.
Yeah.
Greed, hatred, and delusion. So these are the three main things that we have to get seized. So this is all about reducing or eliminating these feelings of our thoughts. So according to him, when we get a thought newly, it comes as a prabhashara sita.
Pure mind.
Pure mind.
Very pure mind.
So whenever we get an input through our 5 senses or 6 senses, that thought is a pure thought.
Yes.
And we get it polluted or contaminated with greed,
greed, hatred, and delusion.
greed, hatred, and delusion.
Yeah.
So this is the process that we have been doing all the time. So the way to enlightenment is to get rid of all those things. So
Yes.
to let the thoughts stay in their pure form.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
That concept, did you follow earlier?
This is actually, this is the first time I came across this particular teaching, and it was like explained very clearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was actually the
So
first
matching
time.
everything.
So yes, so earlier like I had these contradictories, etc. But after like listening to Venerable Abbay's teachings or Dhamma talks, the contradiction. So everything like the beginning, body, and the end, everything it seems like going together.
So all the dots are connected.
It's everything is connected,
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of. Yeah. So I'm very happy to be here
So-
attending this.
So you
meditation program.
you have no doubt about the way you.
Yes, I think I think actually this is the proper and the shortest way to Nibbana or the enlightenment.
Okay. Thank you very much.